Bonjour, Nathan. I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys doing over there?
Well, yeah, we are here holding up, hoping that the Black Stars will give us a good result later later today. You've been following the team. You've seen training. You've been to the
Yeah.
pre-match press conferences, post-match press conference. Initial thoughts on what you heard from Chris Hughton and Jordan Ayew. For those who have not watched the video or listened to the audio or read any of our stories, what did you pick up from the pre-match press conference from Chris Hughton and Jordan Ayew?
Well, I can tell for a fact that after that opening defeat, they were reeling. The coaching staff, the players, and everybody involved, really. I can tell they've held multiple meetings because they know that embarrassment might be staring them in the face if they do not get an appropriate result in this game. And that was characterized by requesting one Nigerian journalist asked Jordan about if um, this generation of Black Stars players would have failed Ghana if they failed to make it out of the group stage in back-to-back AFCONs. Jordan retorted very quickly. He wasn't happy at all with the question. He said, until we are out of the tournament, you cannot consider us a failure. So you should hold your thoughts with that. And that just gave me a sense of where their minds are. For he himself, Jordan is typically the calm guy, but even in his calm demeanor, you could tell that he had a little bit of an edge to him. He spoke about leaving it all on the pitch. He talked about leaving their blood on the pitch. That was very interesting for me. I was like, wait, are you going to war? Are you a gladiator? What's going on here? And so I was a little surprised by that particular statement. But basically, it tells you that the lads know that the stakes are high. They know that Ghanaians expect a lot from them, purely based on how Ghana has performed in previous AFCONs and how we performed in this particular game. He said that they needed to up their levels, and also they needed to make sure that if the game was going to take 110 minutes, they were going to concentrate for 110 minutes. And so that's just what it is. They know that this is not just physical as far as football is concerned. It's not even just tactical, but it's mental as well. For Hughton himself, he says that they need to up their level. Ghana needs to up its intensity. And I've been saying in a lot of my interviews, the big teams know how to raise their intensity. They know how to calm the game down when it matters, and they know how to pass it around and manage the game when it matters. And so the Black Stars would be.
All right, we'll see if we can reconnect and get to Benjamin Nketsia once again. He's joining us from Abidjan. There were a few hitches with the line. Ben, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear. I think
Okay.
I had a little break in my line. Like I was saying, I was just finishing up there. I was just saying that, look, from Jordan's words, you can tell that the guys are willing to do battle. They want to concentrate for 110 minutes if that's what they have to do, because he spoke about the fact that they switched off mentally, and that cost them as a group. In the mixed zone, when he came by earlier, he spoke about inexperience with this team. But he also spoke about the fact that they needed to be there for each other as players and not point accusing fingers at each other on individual errors. You need to keep together if you are going to win a game like this. Egypt said this was a final for them. Jordan echoed the same sentiments that this is as big as it gets for them as a group and as a nation. And so today they are going to lay it all out there. Chris Hughton believes that Ghana's level needs to go up as a nation. Like I repeated earlier on, big teams know how to turn up the ante. They know how to dial it down, calm the game down, pass it around, and manage a game when it matters. I feel like the Black Stars will be tested in a lot of facets, tactically, mentally, physically. Everything will have to come to the fore, and everything will have to be A1 today if they are to get a credible result in this game.
Ben, you've been watching the team train. What's the word on Mohamed Kudus? Is he ready? Have you seen him train? How does he look?
Talking about seeing him train, I've seen him do drills. I've seen him do individual drills. I saw him do some drills with the main group as well, but nothing to indicate that he will play. I mean, if you know how hamstring injuries work, even a minor hamstring injury will typically require about 3 weeks to be okay. And if you look at the timelines, Kudus has spent just about 3 weeks or maybe a little over that since this injury hit. And so Chris Hughton did say it was a little touch and go. We'll have to wait just about until game time to know if Kudus would be in the lineup. My guess is that he will probably come off the bench to play some minutes because you don't want to put him in a game like this where the intensity is very high and then he ends up aggravating the injury. And so, game time decision, we'll probably find out a couple of hours to the game itself. But I also think that this team have gone through a phase where they've had to plan without Mohamed Kudus. And so I think Hilton has the a set of tactics where Kudus is in the mix, and then a set of tactics where Kudus isn't in the mix. And if you listen to Egyptian coach Rui Victoria, he echoes the same sentiments. He says that Kudus is a special player, but they will be prepared for him, and that they won't even in their preparations for him, they will not center their entire game plan around Kudus because they know that Ghana can hurt them in a lot of ways. And so it's very interesting because both managers were playing mind games, trying as much as possible not to give too much away in terms of the presser. And so we'll see if Kudus starts or not. I remember this almost kind of sounds like Cameroon, only that this time Kudus is actually here in the flesh. In Cameroon, he was all the way in Holland, and we kept hearing every 2 seconds that his plane will be leaving for Cameroon, and it never landed. So we hope that it's not the same type of situation and that Kudus will be able to actually contribute a quota in this one.
Then just finally, I'm sure you've interacted with some fans, Ghanaian fans in Abidjan. I don't know if you've spoken to the locals, but what's the vibe you're getting from the fans ahead of tonight's encounter? It's almost make or break for the Black Stars. Lose and they are almost certainly coming home. If they win, they stay alive in the competition. What are the fans been saying?
It's funny, right? Because a lot of people feel that the Black Stars can raise their game to match Egypt in this one. A lot of the locals I've spoken to believe that Ghana has what it takes to play Egypt. I don't know if it's because they don't follow Ghanaian football as much as we Ghanaians, but they still hold us in very high esteem as far as our national team is concerned. And so those are the sentiments of the locals. When you talk to the Ghanaians, colleague journalists, some natives down here, they feel like Ghana has what it takes to beat Egypt, but they also say that the Black Stars are the kind of team that can beat Egypt and require possibly a point from Mozambique to qualify and then probably drop the ball. And so it's very interesting sentiments on the Black Stars here. But I can tell you for a fact that a lot of Ghanaians here do believe that for all the bad performances, for all the unstructured tactics, for all the lethargy we've seen from the team, this is the game that Ghana know that they cannot afford to and be lackadaisical. And so we are hoping that the Black Stars will turn up. They will up their levels as a team. They will be mentally focused and hopefully get a result in this one.
All right, but finally, you mentioned the fact that the Black Stars will have to up their level. In terms of being motivated, have you picked up anything on, let's say, former players coming to speak to them, to inspire them? Have you picked up anything on that sort, on how the players are actually gearing up for this encounter, finding, in terms of like motivation and getting themselves fired up for this game?
I don't know about former players coming in camp, but I know that Stoneboy has been in camp. It came to motivate the team, possibly say a few words into the ears of Mohamed Kudus. Maybe he brought him some magic charm to help him heal quicker. We hope that's the case because he will be influential if he does play for Ghana. But hey, I don't feel like the guys even need anybody to come out here and motivate them. They know what the atmosphere is like. Jordan said it. Jordan says that they are not here for a holiday. They are here to win games, and so they want to go out there and put it all on the line. Know that at least they gave it their all, even if they don't get the desired results. And so I think that this is a game where you need to be internally motivated because there's a lot at stake. You do not want to be that team that has been crowned African football royalty, but have somehow managed to crash out twice on the bounce in the group stage. And so they know that this will be embarrassing. They know that it will probably be the lowest of the lows if the Black Stars don't get a win and against Mozambique, we probably don't get a favorable result to get out of the group. And so the lads want to come out there and do well. A lot of people I've spoken to have mentioned the fact that Hilton needs to put out the right starting lineups. You get the sense from a lot of my colleagues here that they don't feel that the first game had the right lineup to do what Ghana needed to do. And so we'll see what kind of lineup comes out today, but we expect a battle today, really. It's going to be that type of game.
All right, Ben, thank you so much for that. That was Citi Sports editor Benjamin Nketsia in the thick of things in Abidjan.